Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Kelsey, and I am the Professional Development Coordinator for BirdBrain Technologies, which means normally I teach teachers how to do coding and make robots. But since a lot of teachers are busy teaching school in a new and exciting way, I now also get to work with kids directly sometimes, which is really cool. But I'm not here alone. We also have our director and producer, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Kelsey. How's it going today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Matt?
I am doing excellent. I'm really excited to answer some questions that will be coming in from Facebook.
That's right. So we have a number of people who are joining us here live on Zoom today and able to participate fully with video and sound and everything. And we're going to meet some of them in just a little bit. But if you are watching live on Facebook, you can also type comments on there. Matt is keeping an eye on our Facebook comments. So if you want to shout out, or if you have a question, or you want to contribute something, you have an answer for something, you can type that to us on Facebook as well, and you can participate. But for now, let's meet some of the participants that we have here on Zoom. If you're here on Zoom, do you guys all want to wave hello to everybody? Say hi. Hi, everybody on Zoom. Good to see ya. And I'd love for just a couple people right now to, and if you want to do this, you can raise your hand, introduce yourself and tell us, because we are going to be talking about robot petting zoo animals today. Tell us an encounter you have had with an animal. How about you, Connor and Sophia? Do you guys want to start? So tell us your name and an encounter you have had with an animal sometime.
So I'm Connor, and
What does encounter mean?
An experience you had with an animal. So a time you touched an animal or it chased you or whatever.
and
Oh, we fed pandas. A panda.
You fed. Wow, that's cool. Was it a fully grown panda?
It was a dad at Atlanta Zoo. A dad panda.
Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. Maybe that will inspire your robot petting zoo animals today. If we go back to gallery view, I want to meet one more person. Who else would like to introduce themselves? How about you, Peyton? Do you want to unmute yourself? Tell us your name and tell us about an experience you've had with an animal.
My name's Peyton, and we have 4 dogs at our house, and my dog Loki, he's like 100 pounds, and he always runs over me for some reason. He always just walks on me like, move out of the way, human.
Yeah, your dog Loki doesn't seem to see that you are not a piece of air. You are in fact a solid human being and would not like to be walked over. Well, that's great. Maybe Loki will inspire your robot petting zoo animal today. Looks like we might have a couple comments coming in from Facebook. What do we got, Matt?
Robin, Mrs. Randall, is here today. So we just wanted to say hi to Mrs. Randall.
Hey, Mrs. Randall. Hey, Robin. Good to see you here. Well, we are going to be talking. Is that your teacher, Peyton? You look really excited. Is that your teacher? Yeah? Cool. Awesome. So we're going to be talking about robot petting zoo animals today, and we're going to look really closely at just a couple of them. And then we're also going to be programming them with Microbit Classroom. So you folks here on Zoom, if you would like to join in and program with us, here is our Microbit Classroom information. And really, even if you're joining us live on Facebook, there aren't too many people here on Zoom, and there aren't too many people that are joining live on Facebook. So if you're live on Facebook right now, you can go ahead and join this Microbit Classroom. To do that, you're going to go to this URL, this microbit.org/join. You'll type that in up here, like in your browser window, up here, like up there. All right. And so you'll type that in, and then it'll ask you, what's your classroom name? Well, our classroom name is Purple Hamster Helicopter Basketball. So you're going to select each one of those. And then there's a PIN or a number that you need to put in as well, 269975. And if you're with us on Zoom, we have just put that into the chat window as well, so that you've got the correct information, so that when we come off of this screen right here, you'll still have that information. You can look at it in the chat. Hey, looks like Melissa just joined and Sigurd just joined. As you guys join, you'll pop up on our classroom. And when you do pop up, you did it. Sigurd's like, yeah, hooray, that's great. So as you do join, you'll see your name pop up there. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about how one of our projects is made so that you can start to get a feel for it. So we're going to be taking a look at this project right here. You guys can unmute yourself if you know the answer. Does anybody know what animal this is supposed to be? Do you know, Grady? Can you unmute yourself and tell us what animal is this supposed to be, Grady?
A caterpillar.
A caterpillar is a really good guess. It's not a caterpillar, though. It doesn't have quite enough legs to be a caterpillar. Does anybody else know, Sigrid? What kind of animal is this supposed to be?
Chameleon.
A chameleon. That was what I was trying to make. It might look like a caterpillar, but yeah, it's supposed to be a chameleon. So this chameleon is on a branch right here. So we've got a little branch. I was inspired by the flowers blooming in spring. And so this chameleon, if we kind of look at how it's made right here, I will leave, oh, we want this one here. I'll leave that up so you guys can continue to join, but we can look a little bit closer at the parts of this chameleon. So the main part of the chameleon, the body, it's made from some styrofoam balls. And you can see that it's changing color. It's changing from green, like the legs, to kind of a pinkish purple to match that flower behind it. So it's changing from camouflaged. Now camouflage means blending into its environment. So it's changing from pink, being camouflaged with its flower, to green, not being camouflaged. And then something we're going to add later on. So that's the first thing we're going to learn how to do, is change the color of a tri-LED. And then the next thing we're going to add is this distance sensor, so that when you get close to it, it will go into camouflage mode, it'll turn pink, and when you're far away, it'll be green. But the first thing we need to do is we need to learn how to change the color of a tri-LED. The last thing we'll explore is just like how that is made. So if we look at the back of this program right here, if we look at the back of our project, and I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. See, there's our hummingbird. And then I've got two tricolor LEDs. One is going to the head and one is going to the body. If we look at it from the side, you can kind of see how one is going up into the head and one is going to the body. Only the one in the body is working right now, though, and I wonder if you guys could help me fix that too. So we've got one tri-LED, and that's tri-LED number 1, that's turning on and off. Tri-LED 2 isn't working, though. We've got those things plugged in, and then we have a sensor plugged in that we're going to learn how to use. But for now, I'll bring this one back here so y'all can see it. And I'm going to share the code that this is running right now. And so Matt's actually going to do that in the background. We're going to, I'll come off of that one. There we go. So what Matt is going to do, I have built some code for this chameleon already. The code that is changing it from purple to green. But what I need you guys' help for, I need you to add the second tri-LED and make that one turn colors as well. So what Matt is doing now is he's sharing that code with everybody who's joined our microbit classroom. And if you missed this one, we're going to share other code too. There we go. So we're going to share this code with everybody. And you should have just, if you were part of our microbit classroom, it should pop up now and say, hey, your teacher has shared some code with you. I'm seeing thumbs ups and I'm seeing heads nod. That's great. Okay. So if I look at that code, I'm going to go back to my very super secret code here. This is what this code looks like now, and I'm going to minimize that so we can look a little closer at it. Right now, we've got an on start hummingbird. That's important when you're programming in make code. That makes the microbit talk to the hummingbird. And then we've got our tri-LED 1, which is going 100% red and 75% blue. What color do you think red and blue make when they go together? Anybody want to unmute and tell us? What color does red and blue make when you blend it together? You know, Kat. What color do you think it is, Kat? I saw you say it. Do you want to unmute and tell us?
Purple.
What color do red and blue make together, Kat?
Purple.
Purple, you got it. So that is what is running the code that's turning the body purple. Great. So we'll go back to speaker view here. So that's the part that's making it go purple. And then the pause, it's pausing for half a second, so it's going to be purple for half a second. And then it's turning green, so it's 100% green for half a second. And it's repeating that over and over and over again forever. So that's why it's changing from green to purple for over and over and over again forever. But we need to add in the other tricolor LED. So the way you do that is you go into your hummingbird blocks and you'll grab this another tri-LED. You can put it in there and change it to number 2. And then you could make that one turn the same color. It could also turn purple, green, purple, green. You could make it change a different color. So you'd need to add a tri-LED, add a tri-LED block in both of those spots. So now our code is looking super long. So it's going to be tri-LED 1, and then 2, and then pause, and then 1, and then 2, and then pause. And you need to put some numbers in here to make that tri-LED 2, which is the head. You need to make that change some colors. All right? So while you guys are doing that, looks like we have a comment coming in from Facebook. What do we got, Matt?
Yeah, we just had another shout out that was coming in from Justin. So we just wanted to say hello to Justin.
Hey, Justin. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. If I go back to Microbit Classroom here, I'm going to pull up our classroom. And we were looking at my code, but I want to see what you guys are up to. I want to see what Melissa is doing. So Melissa has got port 1. She's got 175. Oh, so she's doing some things. Looks like Melissa hasn't added in our tri-LEDs yet, but she might be going to. Let's look at Sigrid's. Oh, Sigrid has got port 1, and then port 1, and then port 2. Sigrid's doing some interesting things with that code. Let's check out Peyton's. What is Peyton doing to program here? So we've got port 1. Ooh, Peyton's adding in some green to our red and blue. I'm interested about what color that's going to be. That's pretty cool. Let me check in on Connor and Sophia. They've got LED 1, and then LED 2, and then, oh, it looks like this one says LED 2 and then 2 again. It's got to be 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2. So make that pattern. Okay, yeah. Let me check in on Peyton. What's Peyton up to? Ooh, Peyton's changing some colors. I think we should start downloading these. Peyton, do you want to download yours onto one of these and just see what it looks like? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to, what Matt's going to do is he's going to share the code that Peyton just built, and we're going to download, Matt is going to share it just with me, Kelsey the student, my separate student account, and then we're going to download that. Connor and Sophia, did you guys have a question? You want to unmute?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, how many, like, LEDs are there?
Ah, that's a good question. Let's take a look at this from the top, and then you can see how many LEDs are plugged in. So if we come and we look at this from the top, I've got Tri-LED 1 plugged in, and I've got Tri-LED 2 plugged in, and that's it. I don't have any other LEDs plugged in. It's just Tri-LED 1 and 2. I can go way in there and you can see it. 1 and 2. And those are all the LEDs I have plugged in.
Okay.
So that's what you got to work with. All right. So I think we just downloaded, or we're working on downloading Peyton's code onto my microbit here. And once we have it, we will put Peyton's code on my robot. We'll see what colors Peyton made with their code. Here we go. Do, 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 do.
Can you unplug it and plug it back in, please?
Yeah. Fix it up like that. There we go. Sometimes that is the best troubleshooting tip that anyone can ever tell you is, have you unplugged it and plugged it back in? That can be the easiest way to do things sometimes. Oh, I saw in the comments Melissa said sorry because she wasn't editing her code. That's okay, Melissa. I'm just checking in on people periodically. No need to apologize. You can participate as much or as little as you would like to. So while we're getting Peyton's code on a microbit, I just want to say for any teachers who are watching as well, Microbit Classroom, we've been using it a lot over the last couple days, and it's been really fun. And we got some feedback from students that they have really enjoyed coding with Microbit Classroom as well, because everyone can be working at the same time. All right, I've got Peyton's code on this microbit, so I'm going to take the old one out, put the new one in. And now it's going to run Peyton's code. Let's see what it looks like. Here's Peyton's code. Ooh, look at those pretty colors. We've got, and why don't I block the light a little bit? I can use my hand so we can see the colors. So it looks like the body is green, greenish, and the body is like purplish, and the head is this nice turquoise green color. That's really pretty. I like that a lot. Who else has a code that they'd like to put on it? Anybody else got one ready to go? Trying to make things flash back and forth? Let's see. Kat, do you have one? Let's do it. Let's take a look at Kat's code. we're going to go look at Cat's Code. We're going to go back to the teacher version of Microbit Classroom here. And we'll go to speaker view so you guys can see what we're doing here as well. There we go. Ooh, I think I see this is about to play some tunes too. I see Cat's like looking all excited. All right, we're going to now do the thing where we share Cat's Code just with Kelsey the student. And then we're going to download Cat's Code onto here. And I am just so excited to see what our Chameleon will do in your hands, Cat. All right, so we shared it with Kelsey the student. Here's Cat's Code. Interesting. We're going to download it. And if you remember, every time we download, this little yellow light flashes for like 5 seconds. I call it the 5 seconds of panic. But then, ta-da, we get a happy face. Here we go. And I'm going to switch out the microbit here. Take this one out. Put this one in. There we go. And here is Cat's Code running. Oh my gosh. I hear it's starting to play Happy Birthday. But I think part of what is making it repeat funny like this is that it doesn't have enough time to play Happy Birthday all the way through before it starts it over again. So it's like interrupting itself. And you can see you've got the head and the body both flashing green and purple at the same time. That looks really good, Kat. I like how it looks. The sound is a little repeaty right now. Let's put one more set of code on here. Connor and Sophia, you want to put yours on there? Yeah? All right. So while we are downloading Connor and Sophia's, I'm going to turn that off for a second because it's kind of a lot. But while we're doing that, it looks like we had a comment come in as well. Who was saying what, Matt?
Yeah. We had a comment from Facebook, and it is Mrs. Randall saying, "Good job, Peyton."
Hey, Mrs. Randall's here cheering for you, Peyton. She's liking what you're doing. This is such an interesting time to connect like this, isn't it? Such a weird time in the world. I really liked Elise and Kat, how you guys got the head and the body to flash the same color at the same time. That was really cool. Looks like we're downloading Connor and Sophia's code right now. We got it. And now I'm going to switch out that microbit for Connor and Sophia's and turn it on. Let's see what yours looks like, Connor and Sophia. I haven't even looked at it. I have no idea what it's about to do. Ooh. Looks like the head and the body are flashing some different colors. We've got kind of a blue to kind of a green, and then like a purple to a white here. Let's look at their code. I want to see what their code did. Let's check it out. And we'll go here. So here's the code that they were running. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. So they've got red and green and blue. Do you guys know what color you get when you mix all the colors together? Let's go to gallery view. I'm wondering if you guys know this. This is one of my favorite things to talk about when we talk about LEDs. What color do you get when you mix together all the colors of paint? You can unmute yourselves and tell me. When you mix together all the colors of paint, Kylie knows, I think. Hey Kylie, do you know what color you get when you mix together all the colors of paint? Do you want to unmute?
Brown?
Yeah, you do. You get kind of like a brown color when you mix together all the colors of paint. But, and I have a special board just for this to show us what this is like. When you mix together all the colors of paint, you usually get brown. But, does anybody know, and this is kind of going to fool you here because this is not the right answer, does anybody know what the primary colors were? What were the 3 primary colors that you learned in like first grade or like kindergarten? We'll go to gallery view. Who knows what the 3 primary colors were? What were they, Peyton?
They were red, blue, and green.
That is a good guess. I told you this was going to fool you here. I shouldn't have put this up quite yet. They weren't actually red, blue, and green. They were red, blue, and something else. Do you know what they were, Sigrid?
Red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah, exactly. The primary colors of paint are red, blue, and yellow. But the primary colors of light are red, blue, and green, which is kind of freaky. So we figured out how to make purple. Red and blue, right in there, that's purple. And I think it was Peyton who mixed together blue and green. Peyton, what color did you get when you mixed together blue and green? What was
Teal.
that? Yeah, it was like this really pretty teal turquoise color. That was great. I don't think anybody has mixed together red and green yet. Does anybody have a guess? What color will you get when you mix red and green? Raise your hand if you have a guess. Anybody? What's your guess, Grady? You can unmute. Unmute yourself, Grady.
Yellow.
Yellow, that is a really good guess. Do you want to try it on your code, Grady? Mix together red and green and see what color that makes. But I'll tell you.
I have it.
Oh, you don't have it up? If anybody else has up the Microbit Classroom, and we'll share that information with you again, Grady, so if you want to try to join, you can.
How do I join?
Say again?
How do I join?
We're going to put that information in the chat, and I'll pull it back up here, too, so you can see it. One moment. Let me go to the dashboard. There we go. So that's the information. You'll go to this website, enter in this information, and then that pin, and then you'll be able to join.
What did the website say?
It's microbit.org/join. And we just put it in the chat part too, Grady, if you want to get it from there. But I'll give you a hint, Grady, or not a hint, I'll give you the answer. You're right. When you mix together red and green, you do get yellow, which is kind of weird, right?
Can my dad help me sign in so I can try to...
I think that would be a good idea. Do you want to go get him to help you sign in? That would be a good idea.
He's right in the kitchen.
Perfect. See you in a minute. But Grady was right. When you mix red and green together, you do get yellow. And Connor and Sophia, you guys just figured out what color you get when you mix all the colors together. It's not brown when you mix all the colors of light together. Connor and Sophia, do you want to tell us? What color do you get when you mix all the colors of light together? You can unmute.
Is it white?
It is. It is white. When you mix all the colors of light together, it's white. And if anybody's ever played with a prism or a crystal or something like that, sometimes when the sunlight hits it, it makes a rainbow on the wall. That's because sunlight and light has all the colors mixed up in it. And what a prism does is it fans all those colors out so you can actually see them instead of them all being in one beam like they normally are. So playing with tricolor LEDs is really fun because you can make any color you can think of, as we saw here. And this was such a good example. Peyton made teal, Connor and Sophia made this, I think this white color right here. We made some purple. We made some really great colors with our chameleon here. So what I'm going to do now is I want to add in this sensor here. Now that we've figured out how to use two LEDs at once and we figured out how to change the color, I'm going to build a little bit of code, tell you what I'm doing, and then share it with you. Okay? So let me go back over to my student code here. So I'm going to start with Connor and Sophia's. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to bring this back to purple and take that out. So I'm going to make this a little bit red, a little bit blue, a little bit red, a little bit blue, like so. And this isn't changing their code yet, it's just changing mine. So LED 1 and 2 are going to be purple, and then LED 1 and 2 are going to be green, just to make that simple again. I'll put that back at 100. 1 and 2 are going to be green. And you guys can do this part along with me, or you can just kind of check out what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing now is I am breaking these blocks out of the forever loop. All right, I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to get rid of these pause blocks. So now I've got like two sets of tri-LEDs. I've got some purple ones and some green ones. But I want to add in this sensor here. All right, so we're going to talk about sensors in just a minute. But I think there was a quick question about LEDs. Is that right, Matt?
Yes, that is correct.
What was the question?
Melissa was wondering what the highest number you could put into the LED spot is.
Good question, Melissa. Let's take a look. The highest number that you can put in each of those is 100. And you can put 100 in all of them. I could put 100, 100, 100, red, green, and blue, and that would make a really bright white color. That would work just great. So you can mix them with anything from 0 to 100. If you put more than 100 in there, it'll just stop at 100. You won't explode it or anything. It'll just stop at 100. But I want to get this distance sensor to work. All right? So to do that, we are going to do kind of like I like to do the quickest, coolest thing that you can do with a sensor. So I'm going to just figure out what this sensor is reading, because it's actually picking up a number, but I don't know what number it's picking up until I get my microbit to show me. So I'm going to get it to show me the number of this sensor here. Oops, zoom in, zoom in. Now, the sensor that we're working with is not a light sensor, it's actually a distance sensor. All right, so I'm just going to download this one, and we're going to see what this looks like. Oh, I should probably plug it in, huh? Plug in a microbit, and then we'll be able to download it. There we go. So we can download it to our microbit. Downloading there, it's blinking real fast. And then you'll get to see what this sensor is reading on the microbit. There we go. Switch it out. Bye, Connor and Sophia's code. You'll be back again, I'm sure. Okay, now this part is kind of cool and a little bit tricky to show, because here's my distance sensor, and it's picking up a number. And the number that it's picking up is actually on the back here on the microbit. So if I turn it around, it's reading a number. So it's reading the number 20, 18. If I bring it farther away, it's going, let's see, 29. If I bring it even closer this way, whoa. So remember, the distance sensor is pointing down at the table over here. So the distance sensor is sensing my hand, and it's showing me how far things are away, because it's sensing how far things are away in centimeters. So I'm going to use that information, and I'm going to build a code that works, that I then want you guys to change, okay? So I'm going to build a code that when you get close to the chameleon, it's going to change one color, and if you're far away, it's going to change to another color. So I'm going to say if the distance sensor senses less than 20 centimeters, then the LEDs are going to be one color. But if it senses you being more than 20 centimeters away, they're going to be a different color, like this. All right? So now I'm going to share this code. Oh, you weren't able to see what I just did. Sorry. Forgot which screen I was on. So I've said if the distance sensor senses you as less than 20 centimeters away, it's going to be pink, so it's going to blend in with its flower. Otherwise, it's going to be green. But I want you guys to make it your own colors. So make it one color when it's close and another color when it's far away. So on here, I'm going to share my code, Kelsey the student's code. I'm going to share that with all of you so that now you can edit this chameleon code, this working chameleon code. And while you're working on that, I'm going to download this program that I just made onto here so you can see how it works. So we can get a sense for it. All right, go back here and download. So we've got our little it's blinking really, really fast, downloading. And you guys can change the colors of the LEDs so that when you get close, it's one color, and when you're far away, it's another color. And then let's go to camera 3 and see how this works. Okay, so my chameleon is green right now until I get close, and then it turns pink because it wants to blend in, right? So here I am getting close. There we go. And when I get in front of that distance sensor, I could start really far away. So I'm really far away from the distance sensor, getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And when I get closer, there we go. There's 20 centimeters. Right in there somewhere is 20 centimeters because that is right where my chameleon is. And that's what my code told it to do. So you could change how far away you want it to change. It could be right at, say, 40 centimeters. It could be really far away, or it could be 10 centimeters, really, really close. And you can also change the color of the LEDs, make it be some different colors instead. Oh, was there a question? How you doing, Grady? Were you able to get onto Microbit Classroom? We're going to unmute you so we can hear you. There you go.
question.
Sure.
Is the object a basketball?
The object is, let's
Yes,
see,
it is.
purple hamster helicopter basketball. Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused in my coding. I just
Okay.
see yours, and I'm a little bit confused.
Let's so Grady, what we've got here is we've got the code that we shared with you. We've got that up so that you can code as well right there. So we shared that code with you. So can you see that code on Microbit? On the Microbit classroom?
Yeah?
Yeah? There you go. Well, you can go in there and change any of those numbers that you want, and that will change what our robot does. So you can go in there and type in different numbers into the top block or into any of the LED blocks, and you can change the colors. You can do all kinds of different things by just changing those numbers. There you go. You work on that. Looks like Connor and Sophia had a question. What was your question, Connor and Sophia?
We finished doing the
Yeah, we did.
we
You
did
guys did something to our chameleon? Do you want to try it out and see what it looks like?
Mhm.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to share Connor and Sophia's code with Kelsey the student. And we're going to spotlight me so that you can see what we're doing and see how it affects the chameleon a little bit better. All right, so we're sharing it there, sharing it with Kelsey the student, and then downloading onto here. We've got our download. And then once it's done with that, we'll get a smiley face. Hooray! And now we can put it in the chameleon's code. Are you excited, Connor and Sophia? I'm excited. Let's see what you did. Okay. Ooh, looks like it is a very pretty, like greenish yellow. Ooh, I'm interested. I want to see in just a minute. We're going to look at your code. I want to see how you got this like lime green color. That's beautiful. And then when we get close to it, ooh, it turned blue. That is cool. Like a turquoisey blue color. That is like 90s kid tubular, dude. I love it. That's great. I want to see what the code is that you guys built.
Yes.
So here's the code that Connor and Sophia built. Do you guys want to talk to us and tell us what you did?
So we okay, I'll talk. So we first put instead of the purple in the actually no, I think it was it the green?
Pinkish.
Was it the
It was
green?
purple on top and green on bottom.
Instead of the purple on top, we put 150 green and 150 blue, which makes like the yellow color.
Oh, that one, green and blue, is actually what makes the turquoise, because that's when you get close to it. So when we're less than 20 centimeters apart, that's this one. That's the turquoise.
I meant the turquoise.
That's all right.
And I put 150 and 150 because it makes it like the color be the biggest.
Yeah, the yellow. And just to clarify, when it only goes up to 100, so even though you typed 150 in there, it doesn't get brighter than 100%, but that's okay. It doesn't break anything. It's just only stops at 100%. So I really love the turquoise color that you guys made and this nice yellow color that you guys made. You did just exactly what we talked about. We talked about blending red and green together to make yellow. You guys actually did that. Red and green. They make sort of a greenish yellow. If you wanted it to be an even like less green yellow, more yellow, you could take the green down a little bit. So you could have like 100% red and like, 90% green or 80% green, bring that down a little bit. Does anybody else have a code that you want us to try with this chameleon here? Peyton does. Peyton, let's take a look at your code. We're going to go back to our classroom to take a look at yours, and we're going to share it with Kelsey the student, and then we'll download it onto another microbit. I'll plug another one in here. Technically, I could just keep plugging the same microbit in, but I like watching our other students' code run while we're downloading Peyton's code. So Peyton, it looks like you added in some other interesting things in here. You maybe added in some icons. which is pretty cool. I'm excited to see what those look like. All right. So did we download this one on here, Matt?
Yes, we did.
There we go. I got a smiley face. We downloaded it. Let's take a look and see what Peyton's Code does. All right, Peyton, let's take a close up here. The icon that you programmed it to have is actually back here on the microbit. And it's upside down because of how I have my thing plugged in. There, you can see, oops, there's a heart. That's the heart that you programmed to be in there. It's back there on the microbit. Yeah, do you want to unmute and tell us a little bit about your code?
So I mixed like all the colors in, but I just added just a little bit of the red, I think.
Very cool. Let's take a look at the code that you made. So it looks like we've got 100% red, and then a little bit of green and a little bit of blue.
I wanted to try to make it look like the flower.
Oh,
That's what I
I
was
see. You're trying to
make it.
change out the flower a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we have, if it's less than 25, and then we have the Hummingbird LED 1 and 2. The percentages are changing a little bit. And it should say goodbye when I back up from it here. Let's see. Something's a little funky about it. I'm not sure what. Hummingbird distance. Oh, here's the thing that's funky, Peyton. Guess what? Can you see what's funky?
Yeah, let me go and see. Wait.
We can change that right here if you talk us through it. Tell us what to change that's going weird about your code if we go back to her editable code. Yeah, tell us what to change.
Distance? Is it like too close?
It's not the number that's too close, it's the port, because the distance sensor is plugged in. If we look back here, the distance sensor is plugged into port number 1. And what you'd programmed it to be, one of the things you changed is you programmed it to be in port 2, and there's no distance sensor in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're just going to change that one to number 1, and then we'll re-download your code, and now it should work because it wasn't changing. And I was like, it should be at least changing, shouldn't it? There we go. Okay, so we're going to re-download this code. There we go. And then I bet the distance sensor will actually change something, because right now it was waiting for information from the distance sensor on port 2. It just wasn't getting any information from there. So, ooh, I see it doing something. Oh man, I'm excited. Okay, load that in. We'll go back here. Okay, so here's your chameleon. It's blue. It's kind of pretty blue up there. And then when we get close, let's see, is it changing numbers when we get close? It may actually take a minute because I see on the back here, this is like a double-sided project now. There we go. It turned this like really pretty pinkish purple color. And on the back, we have a heart icon on the microbit. And then when I take my hand away from the front of it here, that's when it changes to this is a really pretty like royal blue color. And if I flip it over, it's also saying goodbye. It's scrolling the word goodbye across. There you go. You're like, what was that going to do? I love that noise that you just made. That made my day, Peyton. So if we take a look at your code, if we look at what you made here, can you talk us through what you did? Tell us what you changed.
Well, this is actually kind of like my first time coding, like on this one. So I was just kind of experimenting.
That's perfect. This is the perfect place to experiment because it's just robots. It's the perfect place to like change something and see what it does. So we know one of the things you changed was the port, to port 2, and we figured out that didn't work, but we fixed it really quick. Looks like you changed some of the colors in there. You put that heart icon in there. What else did you change? If we scroll down to the bottom, what did you change down here?
I put goodbye. I thought I was gonna say actually say it.
Yeah,
so that's like maybe that would be clever.
That was clever. I think it's still clever when it's back here. So what it actually does, those blue button that say show a string is like a string of words or a string of text. And so your string of text is showing on the microbit back there. Yeah. It's pretty clever there, Peyton. That's pretty cool. Well, this is really awesome, you guys. Does anybody else have a Chameleon code that you'd like us to add in today? Cat or Sigrid? Did you have one, Grady? that you wanted us to try out? Let's take a look at Grady's. We're going to go to gallery view, or I guess we're going to stay here and we'll hear from Grady. Can you unmute yourself, Grady? Or actually we can do that because I know you have trouble unmuting. Oh, there you go.
I have a code.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could download it.
That's what we're going to do. We'd love to do that. We'll do Grady's and then we'll do cats. Okay. I think.
Can I do one more thing on it?
Yeah. Well, fix it real quick because we're about to share it. Do you want us to do cats first and then yours so you can have time to fix what you want to fix? Okay, cool. We'll do cats first. So we're going to go to Cat's Code. Yeah. And then we're going to share that with Kelsey, the student. All right, Kat, I'm really excited to see what you have done to our chameleon. Is it something weird? She's got a very secretive smile on her face. I bet it's something weird. Oh, hold on. I got to plug in a microbit, Matt. Sorry. Plug in a microbit. And then we can download Cat's Code. There we go. Plugged in. It'll appear. Aha, there it is. Okay. There we go. So we're downloading Cat's Code onto this one. And then if we can pull it up like that, Kat, you can talk us through and tell us, ooh, interesting. You changed where you put the melody so that instead of it repeating over and over itself, you put it in the on start location rather than the forever loop. That's super smart. Let's listen. Okay. So it went doo-doo-doo-doo. And then there's that note right there, low C, that it's playing with too. So, and let's check out and see what our chameleon itself is doing. We'll come back here. Ooh, it's red and green. Ooh, that's so cool. It's the body parts are changing color kind of independently. It goes red and then green. So it's sort of a holiday chameleon, one might say. And when we back up, it goes green, blue and purple. And I hear the music changing too. So when I'm close to it, it's playing a low note. And when I'm far away, it's playing a high note. That's so interesting. Let's look at that code. I want to see how you made it change notes like that. So it's either playing a low C, that's here, that's low C, or a high B. Low C, high B. That is awesome, Kat. And if I stop it, if I turn it off and turn it back on, the things that you put in the on start loop, those only happen one time right when you start it. So let's take a look at what it plays right when I start it. Okay, so it's going doo-doo-doo-doo. That must be the jump up repeating in the background, but we can't hear it because it's playing that C note or that high B note, and then when we get close, that's the low C, high B and low C. That is really cool, Kat. You have been doing some really interesting things with those sound blocks too. And then we've got one more person that wanted to download theirs onto, which was Grady's. So Grady, we're gonna open up yours here. And then we're gonna share that with Kelsey, the student, and I will plug in a microbit. What's that?
Do I press download? Or do you
Nope, you don't need to. We'll do that on our end because we have the microbit on our end. If you have a microbit at your house, you can download it onto your microbit. If you have a Hummingbird. Oh, interesting. You've used a block here that is really pretty cool, but it's not hooked into anything. So let's download the code just like it is for now, and we'll see what it does. And then if we want to add that like happy face, sad face block that you've got in there, we can take a look at that. I have to tell you.
I didn't really know how to add it in there.
Yeah.
Add it in there.
You know what? I'm not sure that I know either. That doesn't look like any block I've ever seen. So we're going to download. Can you help with that, Mac?
You bet.
So we're going to download the code just like you've got it and see what it does. And then we're going to take a look at that like happy face, sad face and see if we can figure out how to put it in there. I don't think I've ever seen that block before. So, oh no. All right, we got a happy face. It's Grady's time to shine. Drum roll for Grady. Turn it on. And here we go. Here's what we got. Ooh, so it's like green and turquoise, and then when I get close, it turns pink and yellow. green and turquoise, pink and yellow. That looks really cool, Grady. I love those colors together. And so you've got, if we just cover up one, this one is turning yellow and green, yellow and green. And then Tri-LED 2 is turquoise and purple, turquoise and purple. That looks really, really cool. Let's look at your code and let's see what you did in your code to make that happen. So can you talk us through it here, Grady? You've got Tri-LED 1.
It's really hard to see, but I'll talk through it when I get to it.
That's cool. You can. That is a really good point. I appreciate you.
So I got red. So if you mix red and green, it makes yellow. I did
It
that.
does. That is a thing that I feel like that is a really good thing to remember after learning that today. So you made yellow. What's the next color you made? Red and blue made what?
Purple.
Purple. So that's the purple up here. Whew. All right. And then keep moving down. You had just green. So that's
And
down
blue.
here. That's just green. And then you did green and blue. What colors did green and blue make together?
It's kind of like this greenish. I would call it teal.
Yeah, I would call it teal too. That's like the BirdBrain color is teal. So we like teal here at BirdBrain. That's a good one. That is a really cool code. And if we take a look at the other block that Grady was talking about here, that like create big image, I have never seen that block before. There is stuff about make code even I don't know. I don't even know where you found it. Was it purple? Was it somewhere in math? Where did you find that block, Grady?
So you have to go to images, and then you see big, huge purple block.
Oh, was it in advanced?
No, it was in images.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I've never played with these blocks down here before, Grady. I don't know how to use them. They sound really cool, though. Maybe it goes in there? We're not sure how to use it. We got to play with these.
I know how to use it now.
You'll have to play with this a little bit and see if you can figure out how to use it. I've never used those before. You stumped us. You win a virtual cupcake. I don't have any, but it's a virtual one, so you just have to imagine it. But there you go. You stumped us. Well, we've just got a couple minutes left in class today, but I like ending on something we're stumped on. That's cool, Grady. And I want to say thank you to all of our programmers here today. And you guys did an awesome job doing some really interesting and weird things to this chameleon. So now you guys know how to change the color on a Tri-LED, how to blend it to be different colors, and how to use a sensor to do that too. While I'm gathering my last couple things here today, does anybody have anything they want to say about this project or about what it was like to code this project? Anybody want to say, oh, that was cool, or I wish I would have tried this, or anything like that? Yeah, Connor and Sophia, what do you guys have to say?
I think it was fun.
Thought it was a good time?
Yeah.
That's great. I thought it was different today. Last time we had a whole bunch of different projects that we tried to code, and this time we just had the one and we did a bunch of different things to it. So we keep trying new things here at BirdBrain just to see what feels fun. So cool. Well, let me tell everybody how they can get in contact with us here at BirdBrain. So first and foremost, we want to see what you make and what you code, what your robot petting zoo animals are, and how you use sensors. So you can tag us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at BirdBrainTech or hashtag Hummingbird Kit. You can always email us with any questions, info@birdbraintechnologies.com. And if you haven't checked it out yet, you should really go to our Robotics at Home site. This site has all of our upcoming live classes so that you can sign up and join us live on Zoom. It also has video series for courses where you can teach yourself how to use your Hummingbird. Matt and I break it down, each little piece and each little part that comes in the kit. We show you how to build with it and program it using either a tablet or a laptop/Chromebook. There's even a way to buy a Hummingbird kit to have it at home so that you could make stuff right along with us from home, which would be really cool. But from all of us here at BirdBrain Technologies, Thank you all so much for joining us today. I had a lot of fun seeing what these kids could code. Make sure you join us tomorrow, Friday, for Teacher Talks, where we are going to focus on sensors and best practices in teaching robotics and coding while doing it remotely from home. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you teachers at Teacher Talk on Friday. Until then, have fun, everybody. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see what you make on social media. On Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, you can tag @BirdBrainTech or #HummingbirdKit, or you can even tag me. If you have any questions, be sure to email us, info@birdbraintechnologies.com. We can answer questions about purchasing, about learning, about teaching, and about professional development. If you haven't been there yet, be sure to visit our Robotics at Home page. There you can purchase a kit for yourself, learn how to use it, and even join one of our upcoming webinars. Until we see you in class, thanks for watching from everyone at BirdBrain Technologies.